Greetings gamers, KWK here with another long play for you. This time we're going to do a long play on the Neo Geo system. And this long play I decided to do today was on Neo Driftout. This was an exclusive game for the Neo Geo CD and the arcade MVS systems out there. And today we'll be playing on a consoleized MVS system known as the Omega Entertainment System. The Omega Entertainment System is a system that looks a lot like an AES, but it runs with the actual MVS hardware inside and uses MVS cartridges, which in most situations are significantly cheaper than AES cartridges. So, anyway, back to Neo Driftout here. What do I think about this game? This game is kind of a love-hate right here. This game is pretty fun, and it's very unique in a lot of different ways, this game. It's got good arcade action, good speed, okay replay value. I mean, it is a straightforward racer, it's just a rally racer. And what you do in this game is you're just all limited and bound by time limits. So you just want to get to the end of the race as soon as possible, and you have a limited amount of time. I mean, it isn't like beat certain times or anything. It's like, hey, you got to at least do it by this amount of time or you're not continuing in this game. So as you can see, there's different vehicles. First vehicle is a Celica here, fastest. You got an Impreza, which is a balance car in all categories, and then you got a real slow Lancer, but has got better control and stronger body build. Since I'm a fan of Mario Kart and balance characters, I'm starting out with the Impreza here because it seems to be the balanced vehicle of the three here to choose from. Let's see how well this balanced vehicle feels here. Start this sucker out, we'll give you a nice practice round, and boy does this game kind of have fidgety controls. Feels good though, I mean, I think I got a feel for it. Got the practice, number one. Well, that's good way to boost the self-esteem quick, get that practice round behind us. Now let's actually try a stage here. Stage one, let's see how we do here. Now, this game has got a lot of different aspects about it that are pretty unique. I'd say one of the most unique things that I've ever noticed in a game, general of a racing game, is kind of the zoom in and out while you're playing it. It looks like it might be annoying to use, but it kind of works out pretty well. I mean, at first it takes a little getting used to that you kind of zoom in and out depending on whether you're gaining or losing speed. But it just feels normal after a race or two. And man, this car is just all over the place. Doesn't feel very balanced to me. I can only imagine what the other vehicles are like here. But we're still struggling on through. I gotta say that this long play that I performed was not an easy one in the least, considering how short the game actually is. It feels a lot longer with how much of a challenge is involved and how many trials and errors you'd have to go through to get to the point I need. But we made it on stage one, looking promising, getting up to stage two. The other real problem I have with this game is kind of like the balance of difficulty. Right here, I mean, we have the practice stage, super easy and fun. Level one, that was nice and easy. Now we're hitting level two, it's starting to build up, but it's still got good fun factor to it. And they just keep adding more obstacles, a lot more turns, difficult turns. I'm having enough trouble just keeping it on the road here. And the obstacles aren't so bad, it's more of the getting the feel for when the announcer tells you what direction is upcoming, the kind of time when you want to start preparing for that. And even though I played through a whole long play of this, I still didn't get a genuine feel for that. It seemed like sometimes right when he says the turn, if you do it, it's too early. And sometimes if you turn right when he tells you, it seems to be just the right time. And it's almost a distraction having the announcer say it to me, or even having that pop up on the screen, because you want to be doing it immediately when you see it. At least I do subconsciously. So if only I had the option of turning that off and just concentrating on the road and seeing how the flow changed, I almost seem to have done better. I mean, everybody probably processes information differently when playing a game, but for me, I almost found it more distracting than helpful when the announcer is calling out, oh, time to go left or right. Now we're hitting a snow level, stage 3, and now this is where the problems really start with this game for me. I got a long history in racing games, and a consistent part of that history is snow levels. Snow levels are never easy for me. I don't know what it is with me, or in general, on all racing games, whether it be Mario Kart, Need for Speed, Ridge Racer, any of them. You throw me in a snow level, and I'm just not going to play that well. I'm all over the map. That extra slickness that it adds. I mean, now that I look back on it, I think it's kind of silly. All it is, it's a little bit slicker of the roads, pretty much. But in general, whenever I'm a snow level, those are going to be my most trying levels for me in any game that involves racing when it's a snow level. I mean, the Mario Kart levels I've had to repeat because of snow level or Need for Speed or anything else. There's always some kind of difficulty. Now that I really thought about it, I think it's more mental than it is actually the game. But that's still giving me trouble right now to keep in mind and deal with while I'm trying to struggle through this, because this snow is just not. This is not being balanced well at all. This is way more slippery than even this game I'm getting used to. It really is. Let's see if we can make it. 4, 3, 2, and no luck. Well, the balanced car is not cutting mustard here. Not for me. -2. We didn't pass that one. Well, I guess it's going to be time to change it up. The balance car is not working for me. And after feeling this game, I think speed's going to be my answer here. So I'm going to pick the Celica because it's the fastest car you can pick in this game. Alright, now we got the Celica here. I mean, this is the picture on the title screen of the game, or the actual cover art of the game, so maybe there's a reason this one's on the cover here. It is the fastest car. Whoa, this car, extremely slippery controls. This is even worse than the supposed balance car I was using. But, I don't know, the speed kind of feels the same to me. I guess it is a little bit faster. Well, it's gotta be, that's what it says, right? But no, these controls are even more slippery. I mean, getting these slides down is pretty difficult to keep in mind. So hopefully we'll have better luck with this car. We're going to try it out. It's kind of interesting. I'm looking more and more into this game online. I've never really played it before. This is my first time of actually popping it in and trying to play this game. And I've only seen it briefly before online, a small video and a couple pictures of it. And it perked my interest. I mean, it looked interesting. I like racing games, so I'm always willing to try a different one. Unfortunately, I never experienced this one in the past. There was not a Neo Geo unit in my local arcade that had this game, so this was all a whole new experience to me. And the way I like to approach new experiences is just to go grab on and pop in the game and just try to figure it out without any help. There, made it barely by the skin of my teeth, but made it. So it seems like the faster car seems to be the solution, at least for me right now, with the snow level, because I wasn't making it earlier. But as I researched this game online, surprisingly, I couldn't get really any tips for this game, because I was struggling a little bit, and I had to kind of form my own strategy. Even GameFAQs, which is, you'd think would have everything, it surprisingly doesn't, at least at this point in time when I checked for it, as of right now, today, does not have any walkthroughs or facts or tips on this game at all. So if anybody's interested, start writing one and post it on GameFAQs. You can probably get posted because they'll take one which is better than none. But you might think to yourself, oh, it's kind of silly. What do you need a fact on a game like this for? And I feel that you do if you want to at least shorten the learning curve you need in this game. Because after playing this game, I learned a lot about, one, you never let go of the gas button in this game. These time limits, I just struggle to meet. I mean, I'm making a lot of mistakes, that you can see, but even with these mistakes, if you play over and over and you still make minimal mistakes, there still isn't a lot of gap time there. And that's why I think this faster car is working out better for me, is because my mistakes are being balanced out with the faster recovery time of this fast vehicle. The other vehicle, when I was making more mistakes or bumping into the walls and losing speed, I was losing even more significant amount of time because how much I was recovering from hitting something and getting back up to speed again. This one seems to have much faster recovery speed. And barely again, even closer to the end on this one, and fastest car seems to be the solution, man. Way to go. I recommend the Celica here. Just hold on that pedal and do not let go. Now, they do actually have a brake and reverse in this game, which I think is hilarious because I don't know when you would ever use that button. Because if you want to slow down in this game, I've learned, and you actually want to make the time limit, what you need to do is hold on to that gas, never let go, and if you need to slow down at all, just kind of take a sharper turn, and if you need to, kind of zigzag a little bit, and that'll slow your car down enough as if you're braking. I don't know why you'd ever brake, because braking is like almost hitting a wall. It slows down your car so significantly much that you can't get back to top speed in enough time to make good timing. So I don't know why you'd even use that brake button, but that's just my strategy. Until somebody can post a better one or give me some other tips, this is what I'm going with, and this is what's worked for me. And once again, we gotta have another brutal snow level. I mean, the difficulty curve in this game, maybe because it's an arcade game, it's designed that way. I gotta say, after you do level 2, it just hits you in the face with difficulty in this game. Level 3, the first snow level, is extremely difficult of a jump from 1 and 2, and then it just seems to climb from there. I mean, 4 was pretty tough. This level's a nightmare right here. Level 5, making this in good timing. There are so many different sharp last-minute turns and obstacles, and I even seem to feel like there's more cars in my way while I'm racing. Now, I'm by far no racing rally game expert at all, because other than this game that I just played now and did a long play for, I've never experienced another rally racer other than when I played probably Sega Rally on the Sega Saturn. And that was a good system, and that was a fun experience, and that gave me the idea and notion of getting ready for turns, because in that system they also warned you, hey, a left turn or right turn or whatever is coming up ahead. But this being in an isometric perspective, it does work well for the game. I mean, it's pretty interesting. It reminds me a little bit of like, I don't know, RC Pro-Am with a whole lot more speed to it. I mean, it's got that feel just by the isometric view, I think. I mean, it'd be pretty cool if you took a game like this and this mechanics and made a racing game like this and almost added like guns to it, made it more like an RC Pro-Am game. And it was more about just competing against other cars and beating them up and stuff. I think that would be a really fun game to spin off, something like this. But for strictly a racing game, it's still good, but it's extremely frustrating. This last track alone was quite the adventure to do. It is very long. It's the longest track of all of them. And just making the checkpoints, let alone actually getting through the whole track, is a mission in itself with this whole setup. I mean, looking at this long play, I'm struggling through. I'm not getting great times. I'm just making it. And that's what you're really going to get here on this channel, is a normal average gamer out there just trying his best, picking up a new game that they haven't experienced before, and just giving it the old college try. And sometimes you'll prevail, and then you'll be able to successfully post a long play like this. And sometimes, if it's a game that I just don't feel ever has an ending, or I'm just done with it and I couldn't get any farther, then I'll probably post it on this channel as a Let's Play. But this game was trying, and as you can see, we just made it by the skin of our teeth here. 0.12 left. Wow. It was a great rush. It was a pretty fun experience. I mean, I would definitely recommend, if you have an opportunity to play this game, either at an arcade, or if you know somebody that actually has a Neo Geo CD, give it a try, because it's not too easy to come by this game. Luckily, I got the MVS version here, and it works well. I mean, the controls were just so interesting to get used to, but once you get them down mastered, you could be surprised how easy the game just starts flowing and feeling, and you'll eventually get to the end, as you can see right here that I did. But regardless, that's my take on this game. I appreciate your time in watching this video. If you have any comments or ideas or tips for me in this game or for others, please don't hesitate. Share and subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you next time.